There are a lot of things in the reptile community that we need to come together and be angry at, but sometimes we just need to stop being a baby. It was brought to my attention, I don't know if it's new or old, but Boost Mobile, which is a mobile phone company in the United States, put out an ad that looks like this. More or less, not to show the entire ad, a corn snake is guarding a phone. The dopey looking character says, "We need to make phone plans more risky." The hero type character in the story says, "No, we said risk free. We don't need there to be snakes." Grabs the phone, gets bit by the corn snake, and then has this immense allergic reaction. Eventually a third character comes in and says, "It's been really nice working with you," because every time the camera goes to the goofy looking guy, he's more swollen up. And the whole thing is, well, now you're gonna die because you got bit by a venomous snake. Now, I saw this on the Discord community. If you wanna be part of it, there's a link below. It's free. And people were really upset. And they said, "Adam, you gotta cover this. This is ridiculous. It's giving snakes the bad name." Okay, maybe. I don't show snake bites on my channel. And I think channels that make their entire living off of snake bites, it's great. You make a bunch of money. It's good for your family or whatever. I think it's a bad look. I don't think we should be showing snakes biting people unless it's for education. If it's for sensationalization, anyway, is bad. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it looks bad on our hobby. However, and I know that you're going to bring it up and compare it to the Vans ad. Just quickly, if you don't know, a few months ago, Vans put out this ad of a dying ball python. I did like this whole video about it right here. And that is bad. You're featuring a dead animal or nearly dead animal in a ad that a bunch of people are going to see, and it's just cruel to the animal. However, this wasn't bad for the animal. I don't think there's no evidence to support that. It's a healthy looking snake. The bite doesn't look real. It looks like it was computer generated, so they're not even really baiting a snake into biting the person. And it doesn't look like the conditions are bad for the animal, so that's one thing. But people are saying, oh, well, people are going to think that corn snakes are venomous. No, 90% of the people who watch this ad have no freaking clue that it's a corn snake. They might think that it's something, venomous. They don't know. And when they go out the next time and see a snake in their garden, are they more likely to be in a position to kill the animal? Like, maybe. But I think at the end of the day, it's a Boost Mobile ad showing a snake biting somebody. It's a dramatization. It's not supposed to be accurate. I think it's the same sort of thing as like snakes on a plane, for example. They're using snakes which are safe to use in the video, and then it bites somebody else. They're not saying this snake is a rattlesnake or anything like that. It's funny, it's goofy, it's silly. And I'm not calling you a baby for being upset about it. I know your heart is in the right place. I truly believe your heart is in the right place. But I think that for things like this, we shouldn't get all upset about it. In fact, corn snakes are one of the most popular pets in the hobby in terms of reptiles. Corn snakes are amazing. They're beautiful. Bunch of different morphs, easy to keep. And I think that really corn snake sales aren't going to go down. I don't think this is going to affect basically anything. However, the point of the video, there are things we can get mad at. And if you are looking, because I don't want to call you a recreational outrage person, but if you are that person, if you like to get angry about things where we can actually have some sort of impact, where it actually makes sense to be angry about it. And of course, if you disagree with me on this, like, don't hate me. I'll just change my mind. If I'm wrong, just let me know in the comments section. Let's have a dialogue. And I think that Boost Mobile is different than, say, a reptile creator with millions of followers getting bit on camera constantly for views and attention, and people are now afraid of snakes. But this Boost Mobile ad is not going to hurt us. I'm pretty confident about it. But there are things that we can get mad at. For example, theft. Let's suppose that there was a big reptile expo pretty recently and a $10,000 snake went missing, or $15,000, however much it was. And then it turns out that it was someone who eventually got caught for stealing it and said, oh, it was a prank. If you don't know the story, this is exactly what happened at a reptile expo like last month. Yeah, okay, let's get mad at that. Let's cancel that guy. Let's, have a hoopla about theft. Let's make sure that we don't steal from each other. Even a few years ago, I guess, almost 10 years ago now, my friend Brian Cusco was in Canada. Canadians never hurt anybody. We don't steal. We can't even carry guns. We're, the salty of the earth people. All of his stuff got stolen at the expo. But if we find these people, let's oust them and make sure that they can never be included in this hobby ever again, but in any meaningful way. What about abuse? There are still people I know, and if you follow them to keep an eye on them, you know who I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about Slithers, or Slithers Incorporated. Matt will put up the correct graphics. I know everyone uses this. Samson and Cassandra, I think her name is. Anyway, those people let reticulated pythons rot in drawers, killed snakes, bobcats dying. Look, that is real abuse. We can get mad at that. We can cancel them, make sure no one does business with those people. That is totally fine. We can also get mad at people who throw around the term animal abuse. I did a video last week, or whenever this video comes out, right here you can watch about it, where we just throw around these terms in the hobby and they destroy not only the person being accused of it when it's not true, but also the hobby. Because guess what? If someone doesn't know any better and you say, I don't know, shaking up a container of calcium powder with some roaches or crickets or whatever is animal abuse, someone new to the hobby might think that. We're setting a precedent, and the people who are trying to cancel us in the first place, we'll get to canceling in a minute, we'll look at that and say, oh, well, I mean, if they're calling it animal abuse amongst each other, then it must be. Imagine they put restrictions on, I don't know, leopard geckos, because a whole bunch of people who don't have enough brain cells to rub together to make a second brain cell say on the internet, oh, it's animal abuse to keep a species that's always kept together in the wild. People are gonna see these videos and these reactions, and they're gonna say, okay, well, they're fighting with each other, then this is a no-brainer. It's easy to pass a law through that says we shouldn't have this animal at all. You have to have a certain caging requirement, which is gonna be too big, or not realistic anyway. I'm not saying like there's no such thing as too big. I'm just saying you don't need to give one leopard gecko an 8-by-4 foot enclosure. We shouldn't put ourselves in a position where they can mandate that. And if you think that that can't be possible, talk to a European about it. Or, I don't know, like the guy who started the freaking hobby because he did some stuff that you don't agree with in 2008, all of a sudden now labeling him an animal abuser, even though you can't do anything this guy does in terms of the animal care in his collection. And there's a few examples of this. Systematic canceling of other people, I think, is stupid, it's lazy, and it's cowardly. So let's get mad at things like that. Let's get mad at overbreeding, for example. People who overbreed things drive the market way down, and now all of a sudden it's flooded. People who are breeding for male leopard geckos en masse and then giving them away for free just to get rid of them for that reptile shop to make money on. Flooding the market so that really everything is worthless, and now what you're creating too is throwaway animals. Now you and me, great people I'm sure, who are moral and love animals, would never have a throwaway animal or see animals that way. However, sometimes if people are, going through a Comic-Con or even a reptile expo and they see a booth that's selling leopard geckos for 10 bucks, yeah, I'll grab it. And, I'll set it up later. I'll worry about everything later. It's 10 bucks. That is wrong. And I know there's that flip side. Well, people gouging for money, like, trust me, no one's gouging you for animals. It's so difficult to sell animals right now. No one is price gouging. Not right now anyway. Or not nobody, but most people. There's much more the opposite end of the spectrum where people are charging way too little money, flooding the market, so people are only buying their stuff and weeding other people out than anything else. There's other things to be mad about. And if you're somebody with a platform, be really careful with what you say. I don't think you inherently have a responsibility to anybody, and you can have your own true voice and your own true thoughts. However, maybe have your own true thoughts. Think about things. Think about things if they're actually rational to be mad about, if what you're seeing makes sense, or are you taking your opinions from somebody else? Because we see that all the time. And rounding this back to the Boost Mobile ad, let's not demonize a company. I mean, we could talk to them about it. Did anyone talk to them about it? Has there been a press release about it? And if you think I'm off base, let me know in the comment section below. What is harmful about this ad? What realistically do you see happening? And if you're a Patreon supporter, we had more of a conversation about it last week. You can be a Patreon supporter too for $1 a month. Videos, early discounts on merch, one-on-ones, all that and more. And for free, you can hit like and subscribe. Helps the channel like crazy. Really appreciate it. You guys are freaking awesome. Do videos Mondays and Thursdays. See you in the next one.